Hi, I'm Miss Nickerson.
I'm Mr. Radford.
Welcome to the Viking Science Academy. Today we're going to talk about taxonomy. So taxonomy is important now that we're going into studying living things because we want to be able to talk about the same thing the same way and know what people are talking about. How did it start?
So Aristotle, Greeks, we basically started with two groups. And I mean, it's kind of human nature to kind of put like things together.
Yeah,
and
sort things and have a place for everything.
Yeah.
And so those two groups were basically plants and animals for the most part.
Yeah.
And then broke those into small, medium, large animals based upon where they lived. But we know, and even they knew then, that that doesn't cover everything. There's plenty of animals that only fit into those, or plants that, you know, how do I decide if this is a medium plant?
Yeah.
Or it grows all the time. So that didn't work great, but it was a good start. And then we started coming up with a system of common names and a common place, and we call that taxonomy or binomial nomenclature. And so why do we use Latin for these names? It's a base language, so it's basically what a lot of other languages are based upon, and every culture has basically some form of Latin in it, and so
Latin and Greek roots.
Yeah, so if I'm a scientist in America and you're a scientist in, you know, Germany, we can talk about the same organism, and you're not like, what are you talking about? It's the same name.
We do need those commonalities, especially in science.
It has to be like a standard. So Carolus Linnaeus is the guy who came up with this about 300 years ago, and he developed this two naming system, and it's based upon binomial nomenclature or hierarchical categories. So how do these
KPCOFGS?
And and mine is King's Play Chess on Fine Grained Sand. And in class, you guys are going to have to come up with your own mnemonic device to help remember that. But basically, how does that break down?
So just big groups to smaller groups.
And each group has common characteristics, right?
Yes, yeah.
And they can be characteristics based upon what they look like, what kind of life they live, how they function.
Habit, or their behavior.
Yeah, so looking for similarities. And then, like you said, you get down to really specific. And then to name it, we use both the genus and the species for that name. So here, for example, is the binomial nomenclature hierarchical category of the grizzly bear. So animals, chordates have a background, mammals give live birth, carnivores eat meat, Ursidae is the bear family, Ursulus is North American bear, and now we've got the specific species. Notice that the genus is capitalized and the species is lowercase. So we are Homo sapiens, and a lot of times you can tell a little bit about an animal or plant based upon their name. So here's some examples here. You can kind of look at them and figure out a little bit about them sometimes, like Felis domestica sounds like domestic, so that's the domestic cat.
Canis familiaris.
So you guys are going to need to be able to remember the hierarchical order, identify something by its genus and species, and then we're going to create a dichotomous key to key out organisms based upon their characteristics. That'll be the second part to this. So we'll see you guys in class. This is a pretty easy one.
Pretty short.
All right, so taxonomy, there it is.
We're going to be doing more.
We're doing a lot of taxonomy in class, but
kinda,
it's pretty basic. Hopefully you guys got it. All right, thanks for joining us for the Viking Science Academy.